Hi, I need some wine. I'm going to a dinner party. I want to bring them something nice, but I don't have a lot of money to spend. Well, yeah, I've got wines, great wines, white, red, rosé, $8.99. Oh no, you can go higher than that. You can go 20, 30. I mean, and I said, oh, you have? You don't have to. What? I don't want to get a headache. And that is such a false perception. That's what this video is about, is quality to price ratio. Hi, I'm Larry Baker. I am a certified level 2 sommelier and senior wine and spirit specialist here at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits in Sunrise, Florida. I'm missing my guest that we normally have. I hear it over and over, from my colleagues. This also goes out to those somms out there in restaurants out there. If people have the money, just let them. They want to buy a Screaming Eagle for, they're $3,500, $4,800. Let them buy it. Who cares? They got the money. Then why are you a sommelier? Why do you go to school? Why do you go to blind tasting? Your job is to educate people and try. Well, a lot of people don't want to educate. Just give them, those people, just give them what they want. No, you don't have to be rude. You're not like trying to give them and say you're forced here for a lesson, but your job is to show them something different, a new way. Even if they got lots of money, show them. Believe me, you will get credibility. I've had people test me over and over who were a billionaire walk into places, not just the President of the United States, I'm talking about billionaires, walk in there and say, just to prove to their friends, what's your best wine on the list for 30 bucks a bottle in a restaurant? And I'll tell them I've got, and just for that, not only would they tip me more, but they would buy 20 bottles of that wine because they can buy more quantity because they wanted to prove that they can do that. We're a busy store tonight. You hear some background noise, but we got to get this done, and that's the only way we could do it. Not a quiet set. But I want to break down that misconception of quality to price ratio. That's the key. So let's start off with Sauvignon Blanc. That's a grape that a lot of people ask for, a lot of wine. Sometimes they go to New Zealand. Sometimes they think the best is literally from the Loire Valley. I love Sancerre, I love Pouilly-Fumé, but you're going to be spending $19 to $27 or $30 for a bottle from that area, and you can, and they're good. But it's great to, if you're buying quantity or people, to introduce somebody to a unique product from the Côte de Gascogne in the Pyrenees Mountains of France. Probably has a little bit of Colombard in there in the south of France. And this is a Sauvignon Blanc for $8.99. That is so light. Many people I've turned on to this wine who used to buy one bottle for $16 now walk out with 7, 8, 9, have to keep 3 cases a week because they can afford. They trust your credibility, and you introduce them to a new Sauvignon Blanc that didn't cost a fortune to buy one bottle a week. They can buy 7, 8, 9 bottles a week. Mimosas. This one always drives me crazy when somms do this or sommeliers do that or retailers do that. They come in, they say, that's all we want. We're going to have mimosas at a bridal shower, some girls getting together, hanging out. Should we get a bottle of Dom P? Should we get a bottle of... You can do that, but boy, would you win over a customer for life to tell them, I don't know, 500 bucks a bottle or 300 bucks a bottle, and you're just going to mix it with orange juice. Well, only we are. The bride is going to get it, and everybody else is going to get it. We'll hide it. We'll just pour the real junk in the other bottle, but for the bride, they'll have the good bottle. How about this? How about you buy a cava from Spain, which I think makes the best mimosa in the store. This is Dominia de la Peseta from one of the most famous producers in the Pinedes region of Spain. A cava is a wine made in Spain from usually 3 grapes, Macabeo, Xarel·lo, and Parellada. And it has to be by law. All cavas are made in that double fermentation of the method of champagne, so you get those fine bubble creaminess. Imagine now everybody, I've had people for 100 people weddings buy 5 cases of this when they were just going to buy one bottle of champagne and everything else was going to be $3 screw-off caps and hide it in the back and have the mimosas poured so nobody would see what you're doing. But now everybody can see what you're pouring, and you're giving them quality that they're going to take because they can buy 5, 6 cases at $9.99. Do the right thing. Somms, even if you got them, if I had the money, I'm not taking a great bottle of Cru and mixing it with orange juice. Not going to happen in my day. $9.99. Riojas, Tempranillo is a popular grape. A lot of people like those. I love them too. But I happen to think the best expression comes from this area called Toro, Spain. And this, I'm going to turn the bottle around. This is Viñas Olivera. They call the grape Tinta de Toro, but it's the same thing as Tempranillo. There's a lot of rocks. There's a lot of that soil that I like there. The temperature. I like the production of Tinta de Toro better than I do with Rioja. But the beauty part of this is it's a 10 $1.99 bottle of wine. And everybody, I've never seen anybody buy one bottle. They buy multiple bottles, because when you show them, they're looking at a $21 Rioja, they're ready to put a bow on it. They go, you know what, I'm going to buy one. Wait, let me buy three. I think my brother would like this. You know, let me buy four for myself. And before you know it, it's 6, 7, 8 bottles of a bottle, because they trust your credibility. And we educated it and told them that Tempranillo is also called Tinta de Toro. It's all about sharing your passion. Sharing that passion, that's your job. Otherwise, they just need an order taker in a restaurant and point, like wear white gloves like a traffic. Where's that? Over there. Where's that? Over there. It's your job to make recommendations and show them how they can have value and quality. That's what wins over repeat customers, and I can help you out there, because I'm on a budget. I can't afford, even if I could afford, I wouldn't be spending on every day $30, $100 bottles every time. One of my favorite producers is Bodegas Borsal. For those of you who remember me at the Shima Brazilian restaurant, we sold their flagship wine called Tres Picos. They're located in Zaragoza in the Campo de Borja region, which is high up in the mountains, altitude, part of the Jorge Adonis collection from Massachusetts. He is one of my favorite Spanish wine importers for value, and this wine is so full of rich flavor of old vines. When you buy that $8.99 bottle that says Old Vines In from California, Old Vines In, everything says Old Vine, you know, oh, you think it's going to be, how old are the vines? Ask somebody. Call the winery. How old are your vine? They won't know, because there's no regulation in California, in America, how old the vines have to be. These are 50 to 60-year-old vines, guaranteed, because they have these laws that have to do that before you put something on a label in the countries like Spain. You're $8.99 for one of the most richest, full, luscious bottle. Clean out the bin every week, sometimes 2 cases a week. The grape Tannat, one of the heart healthiest grapes, if not the heart healthiest grape, comes from an area in the south of France called Madiron. This is Domaine de Peugeot. Usually Tannat, besides it having all the polyphenols and all these studies they did in New England Journal of Medicine that people live to be 108, like the Fountain of Youth, because it's natural artery cleansers like procyanidins and resveratrol and polyphenols, all that. Tannins are usually in Tannat, like that bitter tannins. This one doesn't. It's just smooth as silk, everyday wine. Again, I just filled up the bin 5 minutes before doing this video, because people buy 5, 6 bottles. Why? On sale for $9.99. Even if it comes off sale, $10.99 for a wonderful wine for anybody who's a cab drinker who just wants an everyday wine. Okay, here. Sauterne, right? Sure, you can. People say, I wish I could try Chateau d'Yquem. I love d'Yquem. I've tried. Is it a great wine? Yeah, with foie gras. But maybe some people just want a dessert wine, and they can't afford it. And by the way, that $200, $300 bottle of Chateau d'Yquem in a store, 375 milliliter, is going to cost you $200, $300, maybe even higher, depending on the vintage, right? But how about a 750 milliliter from an area that's right across from the Sauterne area, or the Fronsac, Barsac area, where they make with the same grapes, you know, the Sauvignon Blanc, the Muscadel, and the Semillon. And this is from an area called Lupiac. This is Chateau Lupiac Gaudier. We've had this wine before. It's back on the shelf. A 750 milliliter that has the good acidity, a great wine, and you get this bottle for $15.99. Sure, d'Yquem on a special occasion, if I had the money, I might buy one occasionally if I was having a fancy fine dining dinner. But to bring this over to somebody's house who likes a sweet wine, that maybe wants to have it with dessert, you look like a hero, you taste very similar to Sauterne, and for $15.99. I'm going to end the video, and I think this is going to wrap up the whole message of quality to price ratio. I love to look like a lot of wine connoisseurs do, or wine enthusiasts do. They love when the yearly list comes out from Wine Spectator magazine for the top 100 wines of the year in Wine Spectator magazine. This particular, or the past year, in December, came out in 2017. The #1 wine of the year was the 2014 vintage of the Duckhorn single vineyard, the Three Palms Vineyard Merlot. At an average retail of about $87 a bottle. I don't know if it's 100% Merlot. I know it's very on the sugary side or overripe style, but I respect somebody saying they want to have a single vineyard and they want to try the #1 wine of the year. Right now, there's price gouging, I would say, on the internet. You're lucky if you get out without $120 for for that wine, okay? Number one wine of the year, okay, if you got the money, just let them buy it. But look what we're sitting with here. I've talked about these people before. Bergevin Lane, Annette Bergevin, Amber Lane, the Wild Child 2012, no blending, 100% Merlot. Stay in there, Andrew. Notice it's from a single vineyard, the Stone Tree Vineyard, in the Wahluke Slope, one of my favorite American viticultural areas in the Columbia Valley. Some really, really great fruit in this area. And you know how much this wonderful 100% single vineyard Merlot is? That to me is way underrated. Wine Spectator gave it 89 point. I believe this is a 92, 93 point. One of the best things that I've ever tasted in a long time from Bergevin Lane. $21.99, $100 different. Sure, yeah, but people, cases and cases fly out of this. But you can try the number one wine of the year if you want. $120 on the internet. Is there really a wine that you feel, even if you had disposable income, that is really worth $120? Think about that, Psalms. Think about that, people. Have you ever drank anything you say, now I see why they charge $120, especially for current vintage, not something that's aged from 20 years ago. For more information about these wines that I showed you and other wines in that price point, or I'll direct to you wines that we have in that price point, you can always go to our website, www.abcfws.com. And of course, you can contact me by following my blog, and you'll get my phone number and many ways to contact me. So remember, wine is not for snobs. This really calls it for here. It's for the everyday people like you and me. It's all about the QPR, quality to price ratio.